You wake up every day with choices. Most men don't choose. They react, they scroll, they wait, they exist. But listen carefully. Existing isn't living. Waiting isn't working. Hoping isn't building. And comfort? Comfort is the slowest poison ever sold. You want your life to change? Then you must become the reason it changes. There is no shortcut, no perfect morning, no right moment. The only thing you have is today, and the man you decide to be inside it. That man doesn't rise by luck. He rises by force, by structure, by pain repeated until it becomes precision. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be built. Built by discipline, built by solitude, built by the grind no one claps for. While the world watches Netflix, you're building your legacy rep by rep, second by second. And you don't need them to see it. You need you to believe it, because there's a weak version of you still breathing, still whispering lies, still holding the wheel. And today, you take the keys back. Today, that version gets buried, not with words, but with action. Ruthless, repetitive, relentless action. You don't flinch. You don't wait. You don't ask. You execute. You evolve. You endure. And if it hurts, good. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes wrapped in pain. This isn't motivation. This is war protocol. You're not looking for hype. You're building heat, internal heat, purpose-driven, non-negotiable fire. You're not here to escape reality. You're here to reshape it. I build the day. I sharpen the man. Before the first punch is thrown, the real fight already happened. Not under the lights, not in front of cameras, but in the silence, where no one watches, and only you know if you quit. That's where warriors are born. That's where Mike Tyson became a name carved into fear itself. Not in the ring, but in his mind. Understand this. The ring doesn't build you, it reveals you. It exposes who you are when no one's coaching you. No one's clapping, no one's watching. Just you and your doubt, you and your demons, you and your code. Tyson didn't just train to hit, he trained to dominate. He trained to destroy hesitation. He trained to live in a zone where fear couldn't breathe. That's a fight mentality. It's not about rage, it's about control. It's not about hate, it's about focus. You don't flail, you calculate, you don't react, you execute. You need to kill the part of you that waits for motivation. Motivation is a flicker. Discipline is firewood. And discipline comes from choosing war every single morning. You wake up tired? Good. You show up anyway. You feel doubt? Good. You move anyway. You're scared? Good. You go anyway. That's the code. That's the mentality. No one hands it to you. You build it. You repeat it. Until your mind understands, we don't run. We don't beg. We don't break. You fight. Even when it's quiet. Especially when it's quiet. Tyson's mentality was trained like muscle. He didn't just train the body. He trained the response. The silence before the storm. The breath before the blow. He conditioned his mind to expect pain, to welcome fatigue, to crave the repetition. You want results? Fall in love with the same boring drills, the same lonely work, the same grind no one applauds. Because when everyone else is looking for a shortcut, you're building sharpness. When they need noise, you stay with your code. You're not building hype, you're building a hammer. Swing it. There's a reason Tyson said, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. Read that again. Print it on your bones. Because your results don't care how you feel. Your goals don't ask for your mood. They respond to work. Cold, consistent, heavy work. Fighters don't just punch. They prepare. They study. They suffer in silence so they can dominate in war. That's your job now. To train your mind harder than your body. To walk into the fire without blinking. This mentality, it's not loud. It's locked in. It's not flash. It's forged. It doesn't scream. It stares. And it wins. Start acting like your future depends on your routine. Because it does. Start moving like there's a championship behind every repetition. Because there is. You don't need more advice. You need more reps. You don't need a plan B. You need more sweat. You don't need luck. You need more war in your preparation. And if you ever wonder what's holding you back, don't look around. Look within, then break it. You're not here to perform. You're here to punish mediocrity until it dies. I don't rise to the occasion. I return to the standard. There's a war happening right now, not out there, inside you. And every day, it starts again. Before the world sees you, before you speak, before you move, there's a voice. That voice isn't your enemy. The problem is that you've been listening to the wrong one. You've been listening to the version of you that plays it safe. That pulls back. That needs validation before it acts. That version sounds polite. It sounds logical. But it's a liar, a seducer, a slow killer. That version of you is the one keeping you average. And average is not an insult. It's a disease. Mike Tyson didn't become a monster in the ring by chance. He killed that version of himself early. The one that wanted comfort, the one that wanted to be liked. He buried it in the gym, under sweat and silence. And every time it came back, he crushed it again. That's not motivation, that's execution. You think your life will change when circumstances shift. No. Your life changes when you kill the part of you that keeps making excuses. The part of you that hesitates, overthinks, needs approval. That's the parasite, and it speaks in your own voice. You need to learn to separate the voices. One voice says, "You've done enough." The other says, "You've just started." One says, "You're tired." The other says, "We move anyway." One says, "Rest." The other says, "Reps." You already know which voice wins, the one you feed. This war is daily. It doesn't care how successful you were yesterday. It doesn't care how many books you've read, how many followers you have, or how much potential people see in you. The war doesn't care. It starts from zero. Every single day. And the cost of losing? You don't just fall behind. You forget who you are. You betray what you could become. You trade greatness for comfort. Every man has two selves, the coward and the conqueror, and both want to live. But only one can lead. You think Tyson became a legend just by training harder? No. He became Tyson because he declared war on the inner coward every morning. And he never negotiated with it. He didn't manage it. He didn't tame it. He ended it. Look at your routine. Look at your habits. Are you building the conqueror or feeding the coward? Be honest. The truth hurts, but lies destroy. Your old self will fight to stay alive. It will say, "Take it easy." It will say, "Tomorrow." It will say, "You've changed enough." Don't listen. That version must die for the real you to breathe. There's no breakthrough without a breakdown, no dominance without discipline, no evolution without execution. You're not losing because of others. You're losing because you're sparing the old you. And as long as that man lives, you'll always be at war. But here's the truth. That war is winnable. Not with words, with will, with repetition, with choosing the hard road every day until the soft version of you no longer has a voice. Don't aim to be better than others. Aim to be unrecognizable to who you used to be. That's the goal. To look in the mirror and say, "I don't know that man, but I respect him." You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's war. I silence the coward. I lead with the conqueror. You don't become a beast in the spotlight. You become a beast in isolation. In the hours no one posts. In the moments no one sees. That's where the real work happens. Where the old self dies and the new one is forged in silence. You want to know the truth? Most people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of being alone. Afraid of the quiet. Afraid of their own mind when no one's texting, no one's watching, no one's reacting. But if you want to rise, you have to go through the valley of isolation. You have to sit in the silence until your voice becomes the only voice you need. Tyson didn't build his mind in public. He didn't need fans to focus. He didn't need applause to execute. He locked himself in routines that broke the average man, and that's exactly why he became more than average. He disappeared to sharpen. He separated to strengthen. He trained in a cave so he could dominate in the arena. You need to understand this. Separation is elevation. Not everyone gets to come with you. Not every voice should be in your ear. You're not here to be included. You're here to be incredible. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from confrontation, not with others, with yourself. And that confrontation only happens in isolation. If you're constantly surrounded, constantly entertained, constantly distracted, you'll never meet the man you were meant to become. Because that man doesn't speak through noise, he speaks through stillness. You have to train your mind to love the silence. Not tolerate it, love it. Because that's where focus lives. That's where clarity is born. That's where you hear the truth, unfiltered, unedited, undeniable. Every champion went through isolation. Every warrior faced the silence. Every leader walked alone before anyone followed. So if you're feeling alone right now, good. You're in the right place. While others are seeking comfort in company, you're building strength in solitude. While they talk, you train. While they scroll, you sculpt. While they look around for approval, you look within for answers. You don't need to post it. You need to live it. You don't need likes. You need legacy. You don't need noise. You need nerve. Isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's purification. It's how you separate the real from the fake, the focused from the flashy. You think Tyson needed validation to train like a killer? No. He had a mirror, a bag, and a mind programmed to dominate. He didn't ask for motivation. He became it. You want peace? Stop running from the silence. Sit with it. Suffer through it. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away the weakness until only the warrior remains. You're not alone. You're in training. You're not isolated. You're incubating. You're not disconnected. You're becoming dangerous. Every rep done in silence echoes louder than a million words. Every sacrifice made in private multiplies in strength. Every hour alone builds the man no one will recognize when you return. And when you do return, don't announce it. Let your presence speak. Let your eyes say what your mouth never could. I built this in the dark. While you were watching, I was becoming. You don't rise by being seen. You rise by being invisible until you're undeniable. I embrace the silence. I build where no one claps. You're going to fall. That's not a maybe. That's a guarantee. If you push hard enough, long enough, real enough, you will break. You will lose. You will collapse in front of yourself. And when that happens, most people disappear. They call it over. They fold. But not you. Because the great ones, they don't fall and vanish. They fall and resurrect. Tyson fell, hard, not once, many times. In the ring, out of the ring, publicly, brutally. But here's what separates men who come back from those who stay down. They don't see failure as the end. They see it as a signal, a summons, a sentence to become greater than ever before. Comebacks aren't born from comfort. They're born from collapse. You want to rebuild your life? You start with broken pieces. You want to become untouchable? You train inside the ruins. Because when everything burns, all that's left is truth. Failure will strip you of your mask. It'll expose what's real. It'll tell you exactly where your code is weak. And that's good. Because now you know what to fortify. Now you know where to build. You don't get bitter. You get better. You don't wallow. You war. You think Tyson wanted to get back up when the world laughed? When the world pointed? When the headlines wrote him off? No. He got up because the fire inside was louder than the noise outside. He got up because his soul wasn't done. You've got to make that decision. Not when it's easy. When it's humiliating. When it's painful. When you're at your lowest. That's where you choose. Do I stay broken, or do I rebuild into something they've never seen? The comeback doesn't start with results. It starts with resolve. with waking up one more day when everything says don't, with taking one more step when your legs shake, with believing in a future that no one else sees. People won't believe you're coming back until it's too late. That's fine. Let them sleep on you. Let them doubt you. Let them misjudge your silence. Because when you return, you won't explain. You'll show. The comeback isn't loud. It's disciplined. It's focused. It's brutal in its consistency. While others seek sympathy, you seek steel. While they look for shortcuts, you build a spine. You're not here to repair. You're here to rebuild better, stronger, colder, wiser, hungrier. There is no shame in falling. The only shame is staying down when you know there's more in you. And I know there's more in you. You don't owe the world an explanation. You owe yourself a second coming. Revenge isn't loud. Revenge is preparation. Revenge is peace with power. You don't need to scream. You just need to sharpen. When Tyson came back, he didn't need applause. He needed discipline. He didn't chase the past. He built a present too dangerous to ignore. That's what you do now. Not prove people wrong. Prove yourself right. Every scar is a map. Every loss is a lesson. Every fall is a forge. You either use it or you lose yourself in it. Repetition is the revenge. Routine is the resurrection. You don't bounce back. You build back. You rise, not by magic, but by muscle. Not by hype, but by hunger. Not by luck, but by legacy. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them scroll past. You've got work to do. I fell. I rebuilt. I returned with fire. Greatness doesn't arrive. It's constructed. Brick by brick, rep by rep, ritual by ritual. You don't wake up powerful. You wake up ready to build power every day from zero, again and again. This isn't about goals. It's about your standard, your code, your commitment to becoming that man no matter how you feel, no matter what you face, no matter who's watching. Mike Tyson didn't become iron in the ring. He became iron in the mornings, in the silence, in the rituals. Same drills, same schedule, same pace. No excuses, no applause. Just discipline stitched into every breath. You want results? Rituals. You want confidence? Rituals. You want to walk into your day like a storm? Then you build systems so sharp they cut through weakness before it even speaks. Here's the truth. Beasts don't rise on inspiration. They rise on intention. They don't need to feel like it. They do it anyway, because their rituals don't care about their mood. You wake up, you breathe, you move, you work, you reflect, you train, you finish. Every piece has a place. Every action feeds the code. Your calendar should look like blueprints, not wishes. You need non-negotiables. Wake time, reading time, training time, stillness, movement, execution. Not when it feels right, because it's right. You don't check social, you check your mind. You don't search for feedback, you scan for weakness. You don't start the day reactive, you start it ready. Tyson ran at 4 a.m., not because it looked cool, because it trained the mind, because it told the body, we don't wait, we initiate. While the world slept, he separated. You want to separate? Your rituals must become holy, sacred, protected. You don't negotiate them. You don't delay them. You execute them like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your altar, the floor where you train, the space where you breathe, the hour where no one sees, but everything is built. In those moments, you don't just build muscle, you build memory, mental memory. And that memory tells your identity. This is who we are now. This is what we do. You train your hands, you train your eyes, you train your tone, you train your thoughts. Every move you make throughout the day is either sharpening you or softening you. And you already know there's no room for soft. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. You're not in chains, you're in command. When your life is structured, your mind is sharp. When your rituals are firm, your future is focused. Gratitude in the morning. Training by sunrise. Deep breathing before battle. Mental rehearsal before decisions. Journaling to reinforce identity. No chaos, just clarity. You're not here to wing it. You're here to weld it. One ritual at a time. And don't ask, what's the best routine? The best routine is the one you never skip. The one you repeat so much it becomes who you are. You don't need more motivation. You need more mornings mastered. You need more nights earned. You need more hours where every second is a seed planted in silence. Your rituals are your armor. When life hits, you don't shatter. You respond. When the day attacks, you're already fortified because you prepared, because you built. Tyson once said, "I'm the best ever." That wasn't ego. That was identity programmed by ritual. This is who you are now. A man of fire. A man of form. A man who doesn't wait for the world to give him clarity. He creates it through consistent action. I follow my code. I command my day. You made it here. And you didn't just listen, you endured. That says something. It says you're done being average, done apologizing for wanting more, done tolerating the version of you that kept you small. The man you were when this started, he's not the man standing here now. That version is already fading. His excuses, his hesitations, his weakness, they don't belong to you anymore. You buried them with every word, every ritual, every internal rep. Now you walk different, you breathe different, you think different. Why? Because you've installed a new identity, one that doesn't ask for approval, one that doesn't flinch when tested, one that rises, calm, precise, focused, no matter the pressure. You are no longer here to survive your days. You're here to dominate them. You don't adapt to the chaos. You command it. You don't wait for motivation. You become momentum. You don't live by chance. You live by code. Every day forward is yours to build, yours to own, yours to define. Because now you know, power isn't given, it's chosen. Strength isn't found, it's forged. And identity? Identity is earned in silence, in blood, in routine, in absolute commitment. The world won't believe it at first. That's fine. Let them watch. Let them doubt. Let them stare while you move like a man on a mission. Because you are. And nothing speaks louder than consistency. No more explaining. No more hoping. No more waiting. You already are what you refused to be before. Unshakable. You speak less. You execute more. You don't chase energy. You generate it. You don't need validation. You are validation. And from this day forward, let it be known. You are the routine. You are the silence. You are the hammer. You are the code. I am not rebuilding. I am reborn. I don't hope for strength. I walk in it. So what now? Are you going?